everyone, welcome to the first experiment of Science Week. Today we're going to make a homemade lava lamp. If you don't know what a lava lamp is, it's this kind of amazing lamp where these globules of stuff kind of bubble up and around each other, and it's also a lamp.
And it's also colourful.
There you go. I've got my glamorous assistant here, and we're going to show you what equipment you'll need to do this experiment. The first thing you might need
is a jug of water.
Some water.
Some coloured water. We just use beetroot because we don't have any food colouring.
You could use food colouring if you have some.
A jug with a quarter line.
If you have a
some
bottle,
oil.
If you have a bottle with smooth sides, it works better for us to see. So you need to make a little mark about a quarter of the way up of your bottle before you start. Now, just to explain how this works, and I'll remind you as we're going along, we are looking at the density of different liquids. If you don't know what density means, it's to do with the kind of thickness of different liquids. So it's to do with how tightly packed together the particles in the different liquids are. So something like water has quite a low density, it's quite a thin liquid, and something like oil has quite a high density compared to water. Don't show that yet, that's our secret. So we're going to look at how the different liquids have different densities, and hopefully we'll be able to see that in our bottle. And we're going to use the red water to hopefully show what the water's doing. So the first thing we're going to do is fill up our bottle a quarter of the way up.
With water.
You see the line? Stop. Okay.
I might have done over.
Why don't you move that over to the other side so it's out the way. Second thing we're going to do, we're now going to use vegetable oil, just normal cheap vegetable oil. We're going to fill up our bottle, not quite to the top, but almost to the top. Try not to spill this everywhere, it's really greasy.
Nasty.
If you can see from there, but already you can see the water and the oil don't really mix together.
So they're looking like honey.
Keep going. Does look a bit like honey. Okay. Now let's move this a bit to the camera. So I wonder if you can see. So they're not really mixing. What would you say they're doing?
Wait, what? I thought you said that oil would go to the bottom and the water.
Well, let's see what's going to happen. So a liquid with high density will sink to the bottom, and a liquid with lower density will hopefully float, less thick. So let's just see what happens.
So how do logs then?
I guess logs have a lower density than water.
Oh yeah, because they're thicker. I'm sorry.
So we're seeing that these have separated. They look separate to you?
Yeah.
So we've got the water at the bottom of the bottle.
And they're not mixing up.
They're not mixing up, they've got different densities, and the oil at the top of the bottle. You can see that line here. So now we're going to put in a little bit of our beetroot water. And because that's also still just coloured water, it should hopefully go down to the bottom where the water is. Okay, stop. That's good. Can you see that? Can you see the bubbles of coloured water have sunk down to where the water is?
Should we do a little bit mixing?
They're still in bubbles. Well, we're not going to mix. I'll tell you what we're going to do now. We're going to make these globules all move around like in a lava lamp.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to add to our crazy mixture
a secret ingredient,
which is some Alka-Seltzer. Now, this is a medicine, so you need to make sure you've got an adult with you and that they have said that you can use this and that they're supervising you. So an Alka-Seltzer is a kind of fizzy medicine that you put in water, fizzes up, and it stops you from having a headache or a tummy ache or something like that. But we're going to use it in our experiment. Now, this isn't a dangerous experiment, but you may need to make sure you've got an adult with you, like I said, because we're using medicine. So, should we put the whole thing in or half?
Whole.
Okay, we're putting the whole thing in. Okay, some safety goggles, good.
10, let's say.
So let's see what's going to happen when the fizzy tablet starts to dissolve. Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Ooh, so it's sunk straight to the bottom. And the bubbles that it makes, because it's releasing gas, as it dissolves, it's releasing a gas, which is carbon dioxide. And so gas is lighter than water, so it's all going up to the top. All those bubbles are going to the top. And then as they burst, they're releasing water again, which makes them sink through the oil again to the bottom. As you can see.
Why is the tablet going up?
The tablet is going up as well. So if you can see all those hundreds of bubbles going up and down and up and down.
It doesn't seem like lava.
It's still moving slightly. So it's a bit like lava, isn't it? Kind of bubbly. So the reason that works like that, like I said, the Alka-Seltzer fizzes and releases gas in bubbles, which is light. So it floats to the top.
Where's the lid?
When the bubbles burst...
Can add a little bit more.
When the bubbles burst, it releases the water that was inside the bubbles, which then sinks again back to the bottom. Okay, add some more. So those coloured blobs are sinking to the bottom again because they have the same density as water, really. It's just water with beetroot in it.
But why is the oil not going to the bottom like you predicted it?
I don't know.
Predicted.
We've got another expert here who can answer that question. Or I'll just repeat it and I can cut it out.
Okay, so oil is actually lighter than water.
So did I say the opposite of that?
The opposite
Great.
of that, but I thought that can be...
Okay, yeah, I did that. So actually the answer is that oil is actually lighter than water, which is why that floated and the water sank to the bottom. Okay, we bring all of the blobs in. So should we put another Alka-Seltzer in and see if it works a bit better?
I'm sure I left the bucket here somewhere.
Requiring a lot of editing here.
I didn't know if you could edit it or...
Yeah, I can.
You can edit it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, you're going to tidy it up a bit.
Okay, so put the next one in and we'll see if the bubble's a bit more colourful this time, because the water looks a bit more colourful.
Any more interjections from Alex as well?
I was actually talking to the camera then. Okay, next one. I'm going to pour it out here first. Okay. There we go. So sunk straight to the bottom.
Make a little bit more of fizzes.
Ooh. It's very excited this time. It's making lots of waves here at the bottom. The bubbles are obviously moving much faster. This is a bit like a lava lamp, if you've ever seen one. And if you haven't, you could Google what a lava lamp is and see if this looks a bit like it. So we've still got two separate liquids here. They haven't mixed together. They've got different densities. Slowing down.
Mix again. I'm just going to place 2 more in.
We're not going to put any more in.
2 more tablets.
Okay, so if you'd like to have a go at that at home, you can have a look at the ingredients list and the instructions, which Mr. Vides has put on the website, and you could have a go. And if you'd like to represent this experiment in a drawing or a diagram or some photos or a video, then you can enter our Science Week competition. So have a look on the school website for a bit more information. You could also just have a go and not enter the competition, but you could send us your videos anyway so we can see how you got on. Okay, enjoy your experiment and we look forward to seeing what you come up with.
Reminders for the ingredients. A jug empty with a quarter marker line. Some coloured water that we use the beetroot for. Vegetable oil, or just any oil, but vegetable oil works best. And half full a jug of water. It works best. And
Alka-Seltzer.
And Alka-Seltzer.
Something that will fizz. If you'd like to try this experiment at home, you could also try using some different liquids that you think have different densities to the oil and the water. So you could try milk, you could try washing up liquid, and see if they do different things. You could kind of see how many different layers you could come up with. We've got 2 layers. You might be able to think of more if you think of different liquids. So have a go, and we look forward to seeing it. Okay, have fun.
A memento.
Bye-bye.